So he tells Bahia, "Come to me later, and I will answer your questions." But Bahia insists he cannot wait. "It is hard to know how long you or I will live." At the third time of asking, Gautama turns to face Bahia and speaks a few spare words. "Bahia, you should train yourself thus. In the seen will be merely what is seen. In the heard will be merely what is heard. In the sensed will be merely what is sensed. In the cognized will be merely what is cognized. In this way should you train yourself. Then, Bahia, you are not in that. When you are not in that, then you will be neither here, nor beyond, nor between the two. Just this is the end of suffering." A sudden moment of communion cocoons the men beyond time or place, and something happens to Bahia. Exactly what is hard to say, but its effect is shattering. It is bound up with the meaning of Gautama's words, but that meaning is mixed with the sense that Gautama himself embodies them completely and has inwardly expanded into the open spaces they disclose. A shift occurs deep in Bahia's consciousness, a silent opening. And then the moment is over. The street noises return, Bahia walks away, and Gautama returns quietly to his alms round. The term rendered as the truth in Bahia's request is Dhamma in Pali, or Dharma in Sanskrit. It was a crucial word in Gautama's India that had many meanings, but here it means the underlying nature of things, and also the way a person should act to be in accord with it. Bahia was asking Gautama to show him the true nature of existence, and Gautama's reply, which compresses his realization into a concentrated essence, instructs Bahia to train himself to experience the world in a new way. In the seen, there will be merely the seen. In the heard, there will be merely the heard. That was his message. But what did it mean? What does it mean for there to be no you in experience? And if Gautama truly embodied his teaching, who or what was he? This man who was neither here, nor beyond, nor between the two. Gautama said the Dharma he had discovered was profound, hard to see and hard to understand, peaceful, sublime, beyond the sphere of mere reasoning, subtle, and to be experienced only by the wise. He offered many explanations of it, and Buddhist tradition has added many more, but his words often point to something that language cannot contain, and the same is true of Gautama the man. Asked if Gautama was wise, one of his disciples replied that he didn't know, but he could deduce Gautama's accomplishments by examining external signs, in the way that an elephant tracker knows the dimensions of the beast he is following from the size of the footprint it leaves behind. This book will approach Gautama like that elephant hunter, examining his words and his impact in the hope of deducing the dimensions of their elusive author. We find such clues in the many stories about Gautama that have come down to us in the Buddhist scriptures. By their account, for 45 years after his awakening, Gautama travelled continually across the Ganges Valley. The dust of its roadways caked his feet. He gathered food amid the grime and bustle of its cities, and he gave talks in the parks just outside them, where religious wanderers stayed. Wherever he went, he met people, full-time religious seekers like Bahia, or householders from each and every walk of life, merchants and musicians, kings and lepers, priests and prostitutes. He spoke with the curious, the skeptical, and the intensely devout, and he tried again and again to communicate his explosive understanding of existence. He stretched the meanings of the words and concepts that people already knew, and he invoked venerable, established ideas, but turned them on their heads. For all the glimpses in the scriptures of this vividly real Gautama of the plains, cities, and wilderness tracks, we encounter unavoidable difficulties when we try to thread them together into a coherent and credible narrative. The first is the nature of our evidence. Gautama wrote nothing himself. In fact, we have no reason to think